Hello. I have been buzzing with excitement all day, wanting to share this message with you guys. I didn't even take off my shoes. Let me do that. I just ran in the house and ran upstairs because I'm just like so anxious to get this message out. And it's going to be hilarious once the message comes out because it's like right on the nose of the message, and it's been testing my freaking patience and ability to be in the present moment. And what's on my mind, what is coming through, is this voice loud and clear. You have nowhere to be, and you have nothing to do. And I'm going to attempt to convey this very energetic message as best that I can, because immediately all of our egos are like, what the hell are you talking about? I have to be at work later. I have to pick up my kids from school. I have to make lunch. I have to make dinner. I've got to go to the grocery store. And let me tell you a little story about this morning when this message first started coming through. And it's a message I've received for a while, but not as strongly as this morning. I was in my bathroom and I had 10 minutes before I had to be at the gym to train my first client. And I was like washing my face. And I'm like, okay, I have to wash my face. I'm washing my face. And then I have to go get dressed. And then I have to somehow make myself breakfast and eat it. Or maybe I'll package it up so I can eat it on the way to the gym, because I'm going to have 2 clients back to back. And then it's going to be my turn to work out. And I know that if I don't eat breakfast right now, I'm not going to end up working out. I'm going to end up eating. And so my mind was racing, trying to figure out how I was going to fit all of this into a 10-minute span. And then immediately I heard this loud voice say, you have nothing to do and you have nowhere to be. And my ego immediately said, yeah, I do. I have to be at the gym in 10 minutes. I have to work out later and I need to eat breakfast. And then, of course, I also immediately understood it energetically, and the contrast of my ego mind and then my energetic understanding of what it was actually saying. I just started laughing. And it snapped me out of that trance I was in. Because the truth is, in that moment, in every moment, we have nothing to do and we have nowhere to be except for exactly where we're at and doing exactly what we're doing. And this is like the foundation of how to learn to trust in the unfolding of life. Trusting in the unfolding of life does not mean that you control how your day is going to play out in your mind before it happens. Trusting in the unfolding of life does not mean that while you're doing something, you're actually not doing it. You're doing it, but you're in your mind thinking about all the other trillion things that you need to get done afterwards in order for the day to be finished complete in how you want it to go. Trusting in the unfolding of life means that you're in every present moment so deeply that truly you have nowhere to be and you have nothing to do except for where you are and what you are doing. In that moment, when I was getting ready this morning, all I had to do was wash my face. All I had to do was feel the water on my skin. All I had to do was breathe. All I had to do was feel the swirling motions as I was massaging my face wash into my skin. That is literally all I had to do in that moment. But in my mind, I was trying to figure out how I was going to squeeze in eating breakfast when I clearly did not have time to eat breakfast because I was so stressed out about not getting my workout in later. I was so anxious about what that meant about me if I did not get my workout in, because instead I went home to eat lunch because I was hungry because I didn't eat breakfast. And I had to let go of that control of needing to work out later. It was going to work out later or I was not going to work out later. But the point was I needed to trust in the course of my life as it naturally unfolded. And to tell you the truth, if I actually wanted to work out later, I would have made sure I had enough time to wash my face, get dressed, and eat breakfast before I needed to walk out the door. But I didn't, because I was already in resistance to the idea of working out later. I didn't actually want to do it. My ego was trying to force and manipulate and coerce me into lifting weights in a way that my body didn't actually want to. And I was ignoring my body while listening to my mind, which manifested as procrastinating getting ready. And then whenever I finally did start getting ready, I tried to squeeze everything in and panic and stress so that I could still control the situation and end up working out later. But the point is, if we fully were surrendered to life, if we were fully surrendered to the plan that is unfolding before our very eyes in each next now moment, we would never be in our mind stressing out about how we're going to make everything happen. We wouldn't be doing something like washing our face and then the whole time be worrying and wondering how we're going to cram everything into our day. We would just simply be in the present moment, washing our face, sinking so deeply into a meditative state that all we are paying mind to are our senses. And then when a thought does come in, we're like, oh, interesting, here's a thought. Here's a very stressed out thought trying to control me and manipulate me into getting done the ego's will. Wow, fascinating. Okay, well, whatever, you can keep floating on by. When we truly trust, when we actually surrender, which you can pretend to let go because, we all know, or maybe you don't know, but in order to magnetize things towards you, in order for your life to unfold in a divine way, you have to surrender the outcome. You have to actually let go of needing what you think you need. You have to let go. You can set an intention, but then you have to let it go. You have to say, for example, I want to make a decent income. I want to be able to support my husband and I so that he doesn't have to worry so much, because he has been supporting me the past 4 years, 5 years, while I've been trying to figure out what I want to do. And I would love to repay that to him by making a decent enough income to where now he has the chance to just chill and figure out what he wants to do. Because while I've been, figuring out my shit, he has been working really hard to make enough money for our family. And I want nothing more but to be able to, make enough to gift that back to him, to say to him, here's your time back. Here, not that I feel like I need to pay him back, but you know what I'm saying. I just want him to have his time, to not have to worry about paying for everything and truly figure out what he wants to do too. But I had to, while asking for that, learn to surrender it. Being like, that's what I would really love to be able to do. But honestly, I love my life now. I love who I am now. I love creating. I love training people. I love making these videos. I like creating little offerings that I add to my storefront, like the beauty rituals that I've recently been adding. I love creating those things. And in order for my life to play out in the divinely aligned way that it needs to, I have to let go of needing to control exactly how I'm going to make all of this money. I need to let go of putting the pressure on these videos, or putting the pressure on my creations when I add them to my storefront, or putting the pressure on needing to get another client or whatever it is. I need to surrender and take the pressure off. We have to learn how to take the pressure off. Otherwise, we are in a repulsive state. We are repelling away from us everything that we want to attract. And so you cannot pretend, you cannot trick the universe into surrendering, because surrender is an energetic state. In the situation that I just described to you, where I was trying to manipulate and control so that I was able to do all of these things to make sure that my day played out the way I wanted it to play out, which included working out later, that is being in a state of control, of pushing, of forcing, of manipulation. Whereas if I just chose in that moment, which I did after I got this like energetic download, I just if we are more in this state of the exhale, in the moment, in our senses, feeling our body, truly trusting in life, that is when things start to pour in. Because when you're tensed up, controlling outcomes in your mind, controlling your day in your mind, you're tense. And in that state of tension, things are being repulsed away from you. You must be in an energetic state of an exhale, of open, relaxed. That is when things start to feel like they want to come into your energetic space. They feel invited, they feel welcomed. And you cannot manipulate your energy into pretending to be in that state. You have to actually be in that state. You have to actually practice mindfulness, and you have to actually choose to let go of the anxious thoughts. You have to actually choose to let go of the outcome, no matter how scary that might sound. Because when we let go of the outcome, it's like stepping into the unknown, or stepping into a freaking void where anything could happen. And our ego minds just freak the F out when we do that. But I'm telling you, that is the only space with which the divine can fully swoop in and orchestrate your life for you, which feels ease. It feels easy. It's supposed to feel easy. It's supposed to feel like life is flowing out of you naturally. When you go to sit down and create something, you're not like forcing and trying to push creation out of you. You're in a relaxed, surrendered state, and then you receive an inspiration, and then maybe you sit with the inspiration for a day or two, or maybe you immediately start acting on it, and it just naturally starts to flow out of you. That is what happened with this mirror beauty charm ritual I added recently. Is like, literally, I made it on Sunday because I was charming my mirrors, and then I was like, oh my god, this would be like really fun to throw together and share with people. And then I just naturally started creating it. I didn't think really hard about what I need to create. Oh, I need to create a product because I need to make money, because I need to fulfill whatever this desire is to give back to my husband. And like, all of this pressure is on top of me. And so then I'm forcing out these creations that don't actually have an open magnetic frequency. And then they just kind of fall flat. Whereas when you're in that open, receptive state and you're just allowing life to flow through you, you're allowing this creative force to flow through you in every now moment, it just gets done. And then by the time you're done creating it, you're like, wow, I can't believe I just created that. How exciting. That was so much fun. I didn't even have to think about it. It just poured out of me because it was me, essentially. Like, that's how it feels. Like your creations are just an extension of you. Like giving birth, your baby is just an extension of you. You didn't have to think really hard when you were pregnant and be like, okay, I'm gonna make the arms. Okay, now it's time to make the feet, and I have to think really hard, and I have to make the heart. No, you literally just existed, and your body began creating a body without you having to do anything. It just flowed. It just sort of was the natural state of creation. You didn't have to think really hard about it. A baby just started growing inside of you. And yeah, you had to deal with the pains of that. You have to deal with the labor pains and giving birth and everything else that comes with pregnancy. You had to learn to move through that. But you didn't have to think really hard about creating a baby. It just naturally was created inside of you. That's how it feels when your creations are a natural extension of your essence. That's how it feels when your creations are a natural extension of your energy. I don't feel like I have to force and push really hard to make this video. I'm just letting it flow out of me. And yeah, sometimes you get in your mind and you get anxious, like, I hope this is making sense. But then you just surrender that, like, okay, whatever. If it doesn't make sense, whatever. I'm just letting it flow. Maybe it'll make sense to one person, but if anything, it's helping me process this energy too. So we have to learn how to surrender what we want to get out of life. What do we want to get out of life? What do I want to get out of this creation? What do I want to get out of helping that person? What do I want to get out of that? No, you can't think like that. That is what you have to surrender. Being in that mind state of what am I going to get out of this is being in that controlling, egoic mind state. You're in a tense, repulsive, energetic state. You must learn how to surrender and enjoy the present moment, fully immersing yourself into the experience that is life, allowing life to flow through you because it's just a natural extension of who you are. You are life itself. You are life. You are creation. You don't have to try really hard to do it or to be it. You are it. And if you learn to just surrender and trust life because it's you, your life is literally like a holographic reflection of your consciousness. It's you. Everything is you. You are it. You don't have to try to force it or manipulate it or make it happen. You just simply are. And when we are in a state of resistance and control, even in our minds, in little ways of like how I was trying to manipulate those 10 minutes so that I would be able to work out later, we are not trusting the natural unfolding of life. In each now moment, you will absolutely be presented with what is the next thing for you to do, what is the next thing for you to feel, what is the next thing for you to observe, what is the next thing for you to create. It will just naturally flow through you. You don't have to think really hard about it. You don't have to control life in your mind. It's happening through you as you. There's nothing that you have to do, and there is nowhere that you have to be except for right here doing exactly what it is you are doing right now. That's it. That's literally it. You just get to take a deep exhale. Drop into your senses. What can you feel? Can you feel the air on your skin? Can you feel your clothes touching you? Can you feel what you are seated upon, applying pressure to the bottom of your body or to your feet? If you close your eyes and breathe, can you feel into the back of your head or into your crown? Can you feel that that is where your thoughts and worries and anxieties exist, as like a mental cloud around your crown and in the back of your head? Can you just spend some time observing what that energy feels like there without without believing that it's the truth, just seeing it as like, oh, okay, that's what it energetically feels like to have a lot of thoughts clouding up my crown chakra. Weird. Can you drop into your shoulder blades and feel what it feels like? Is there a tightness in your shoulder blades? Is there a crunching when you roll them? Can you just breathe into your lungs and feel what it feels like for your lungs to expand in your body? Can you just observe what it actually feels like to breathe in and to breathe out? Like how weird it is that air is just coming into your body and then leaving your body, but it never stays. It's always in a constant state of in and out. Just like our thoughts are in a constant state of coming in and then leaving. Just like the present moment is in a constant state of in and out. We're constantly in a new moment and then out of that moment into a new moment, into the next moment, out of that moment into the next moment. Everything is in a constant state of ebb and flow, in and out, like the waves crashing. We are constantly leaving one moment and entering the next moment. Constantly, all the time, 24/7. We are going from one moment to the next. And in each moment, there will be an energetic imprint. If you can just feel into it, there will be an energetic sense of what is the next best thing for you to do. But if you're always listening to your thoughts and believing that your thoughts know best and believing that life is only going to work if you can control it, you're never going to know what is the actual next divine step for you to take. And if you are praying and asking for divine guidance, and then you're still just letting yourself believe that everything that you think is the truth, you're missing the guidance. You are in that cloudy fog around your crown chakra, and you think that that is you. You think you are the energetic cloud around your crown chakra that is your thoughts, memories, beliefs, past life trauma. You're just existing up here, and you think it's the truth. Can you just drop into your body? Can you drop into your heart? Can you live life through your heart? Which doesn't mean that you're being nice to everybody all the time. You're always doing the thing that feels like it's nice because you're living from your heart. So you have to be nice to everybody. No. You're doing the next best thing that feels good in your body, that feels expansive in your heart center. When your heart is expansive to something, like when I started getting this download today and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to share this with everybody. I could feel this like opening in my energy field. It felt exciting. I was like, oh my, like I literally was so excited. I was like buzzing because I felt so open and expanded. Whereas when you don't want to do something, or when you're doing something that's not right for you, your heart feels a little closed. You might feel like a heaviness, a weight, like you're just closed off. You want to keep yourself closed off to the world, because whatever it is does not feel aligned to you. And we have been taught to go against that. We have been taught that holding up boundaries makes you rude. You have to be nice to people. But what if being nice doesn't feel good in your body? What if it makes you feel closed off and uncomfortable? And like there's a little kid inside of you, like, please just tell them no. Please just tell them no. And that idea of like actually telling them no makes you feel open, like, oh yeah, I want to say no. And then the programming comes like, oh, but you have to be nice. Close back up. Listen to your body. That is how you live from your heart. It's not about being nice and good. It's about doing what makes you feel open and expanded and safe, and choosing to not partake in things that make you feel contracted and small and unsafe. Which sometimes when we have trauma in our body isn't necessarily trying to lie to us, but unbeknownst to itself, it can lie to us with this closed off, unsafe place. So the way to clarify your guidance is actually to go within and to clear out all of your trauma. Otherwise, the way that you navigate through life is going to be clouded up by all of this trauma that is stored in your body. And so the way you get in tune with your natural guidance system is actually to go within and to feel your fears, to comfort your inner child, to forgive everything that's happened to you, to forgive everybody in your life, to forgive life itself. Forgiveness is what is going to clear up this muddied water and give you a very clear insight into what feels good and what does not feel good. No longer distorted by trauma and pain and energy and emotion, but just pure, undiluted, divine guidance. That is what we are trusting. That divine guidance that is inside of us is what we are trusting in each now next moment. It's not like some like grandiose thing outside of us that's like watching down over us and we're like, okay, well, I hope he's up there orchestrating my life so that I can trust. None of that. No. It's coming from inside of you. The thing that you are building trust with is you, is coming from within you. And the very first step to rebuilding this trust that is broken after years, after decades of going against it in order to be seen as nice, in order to be seen as good, or being a people pleaser, you have to rebuild your trust with that guidance system by clearing out the trauma that you yourself, not every time, like a lot of times we have trauma from what other people, do to us when we're younger. But when we're older and we directly go against our guidance system and do something we don't want to do, we're storing trauma. We are ourselves making the choice to store trauma in our body so that other people see us as nice. So you're abandoning yourself so that other people think you're good. You're breaking trust with your guidance. You're breaking trust with your inner child so that other people think that you're good. So you have to actually go within, you have to rebuild this trust by sitting with yourself, comforting yourself, looking at the fears that this version of you that is clouded has, and comforting, saying, it's okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's just take it slow. So it's a whole process of getting in tune with your guidance system. And it's not always very easy. It's learning how to trust yourself again. Learning how to trust life is simply just learning how to trust you again. That's all you're ever really needing, is to trust yourself. And when you can trust yourself, you will begin to trust life, and you will begin to live in the present moment and allow it to just naturally and divinely flow and pour out of you in each next now moment. But you have to learn how to sit in the discomfort that was created by going against the guidance. So, okay, it's starting to kind of trail off and die down now, the energy. So I think that's where I'll end it. Yeah. And if you ever need help or want guidance on how to do this, if you just need assistance in directing you back inward, I'll leave the links below for guidance sessions and things like this. And yeah. Okay. Bye.